part is one more. So everyone the emphasis is a little bit of different. So Hari part properly, particularly since today is the last on that, talks about different processes, Jnana Marga, Ashtanga Yoga, doing auspicious activities. It talks about everything. And, giving all the conclusion that Hari Nam is the only, will take to you. If you take Hari Nam, then all other processes you intend to do that will be fructified. So that is the conclusion. So we'll start with 25th today. जाणीव नेणीव भगवंती नाही हरी उच्चारणे पायी मोक्ष सदा नारायण हरी उच्चार नामाचा तेथे कळी काळाचा रीग नाही तेथील प्रमाण नेनावी वेदासी ते जीव जंतू कैसे कळे ज्ञानदेव फळ नारायण पाठ सर्वत्र वैकुंठ केले असे व्हेरी नाईस. So, he's giving some, at the end, after discussing so much of thing. So, Nande Mauli, they are concluding now in next 2, 3 that Lord does not distinguish one who has knowledge and who does not have any knowledge. He only sees his faith and chanting and is a well-wisher to award him liberation. And we saw example of Janabai yesterday. She has no prior knowledge, anything. So Lord accepted by seeing her faith, seeing her intention to, serve him as a 7-year girl who comes to the Pandharpur and wants to be there. So that is what we see. The next slide. Yeah, somebody said something. One who is engaged in chanting the name of Narayan Hari is not impacted by deteriorating influence of Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga has no influence. That means the Maya will not affect him. Vedas also cannot fully understand the potential of Lord Hari. Then what to talk about us? We are insignificant jivas. So that's why we are influenced by that. Jnanadeva says, as a result of regular meditation on the name of Lord, the entire material world is converted into Vaikuntha. So these are, whenever you hear about Jnaneshwar only read that they are transcendental translation situated. They are not sadhakas, they are sadhan siddhas, and their writing is considering that. So when some of the words may not be applicable to us, but it gives a guideline where we need to go. So that's why he say that one who is chanting, he says, as a result of regular meditation on the name of God, it is true for him. So we have to go, we have to follow the path. One day we'll go that the entire material world is converted into Vaikuntha. By remaining here, Srila Prabhupada also talks about this is a Vaikuntha where Lord's name is chanted and Lord's bhakti is done, and all those 64 angas are followed. It includes nama, includes everything, because the name only will come to the tongue of person when all other processes are one is on the following that. 26. एक तत्व नाम दृढ धरी मना हरिसी करुणा येईल तुझी ते नाम सोपेरे रामकृष्ण गोविंदा वाचेसी सद्गदा जपे आधी नामा परते तत्व नाही रे अन्यथा वाया अनेक पंथा जाशील जनी ज्ञानदेव मौन जपमाळा अंतरी धरोनी श्रीहरी जपे सदा. Again further, with a determination, fix your mind and intelligence only on Hari, who is the absolute. With this your gesture, that is devotion, Lord Hari will be pleased. The meditation on the name of Lord Ram Krishna is very easy compared to the other transcendental methods, and it's recite happily always the name. There is no other process of liberation other than Nam Samkirtan, and say do not waste your time in following any other paths and get lost. Eventually you lose what you want to achieve. Jnanadeva says, therefore, I always meditate on Hari internally by accepting silence or renouncing other things. Silence is not a, Nareshwar Mauli was never silent. He was preaching all along. He lived only for 22 years. So, his meaning is that, don't talk. Srila Prabhupada said, don't talk anything other than the Lord's name. So, 27. सर्व सुख गोडी साई शास्त्र निवडी रिकामा अर्धगडी राहू नको लटिका व्यवहार सर्व हा संसार वाया एरजारी हरिविन नाम मंत्र जप कोटी जाईल पाप रामकृष्ण संकल्पी धरून राहे निजवृत्ती हे काढी सर्व माया तोडी इंद्रिया सवडी लपू नको. तीर्थ व्रत भाव धरी रे करुणा शांती दया पाहुणा हरी करी ज्ञानदेव प्रमाण निवृत्ती देवी ज्ञान समाधी संजीवनी हरिपाठ. So six Shastras declare unanimously the happiness in chanting the Hari name, and hence do not waste even half moment and chant his name. Anything related with the bodily relations and mundane activities are false, illusion only. And you will lose opportunity in this life for liberation. I will continue rebirth cycle perpetually. Very strong word. If you chant the name of Lord Ramakrishna with a determination and faith, then all your past sins will be wiped out. With a proper understanding of Atma and Paramatma and meditating on Him will relieve you from any Maya or illusion. And for that, do not hide behind Maya Tit, Indriya satisfaction, self Indriya satisfaction. Indriya Trupti, that's what it means. It also means do not get illusioned by Maya and sense enjoyment, which is the root cause of all miseries of birth and death cycle. Develop faith in the sanctity of the holy dham and holy name, and thus blessed by compassion and peace, you will realize Lord Hari. Deva says, my Guru Nivritinath gave me this transcendental knowledge, and as a result of which I am eternally situated in the meditation of Hari. Now 28 is the last sloka from Haripat, and this is again conclusion. Abhanga Haripat Asti 28. Total slokas are 28. Rachile Vishwase Deva. With a faith, Jnanadeva is written this. Nitya Pat Kari Indrayan Tiri. Indrayani is a river near where this was written. Basically, it's near Pune or Alandi. होय अधिकारी सर्वता तो असावे एकाग्र स्वस्थ चित्त मनी उल्हासे करुणी स्मरण जीवी अंतकाळी तैसे संकटाच्या वेळी हरी त्या सांभाळी अंतर्बाह्य संत सज्जनांनी घेतली प्रचिती आळसी मंदमती केवी तरे श्री गुरु निवृत्त वचन ते प्रेमळ तोशिला तत्काळ ज्ञान देवा. So again, I'll say this is a conclusion. Since the last sloka of Haripat compiled by Jnaneshwar Maharaj and gives full fruit reciting and say these are the words of Lord and not written by any mundane person. So, Apaurisha, because Lord dictated, Vittal dictated and he has written. He himself is a Vishnu Avatara. That is another part. One who recite every day at the bank of Indrayani river will get all the benefit of self-realization. We talk about Ganges, Yamuna river, so here Indrayani, because that is on the bank of that he took a Sanjeevani Samadhi. How to perform the above act with a peaceful mind and sense control, with enthusiasm and full faith, only in the process of Nam Sankirtan. All other process may not take you to that directly. Single pointed and perform the sadhana. What is the outcome? If you continue the remembrance of the name, then at the time of death or when you are in trouble, you will protect you from he will protect you from inside and outside. We see, the Bhagavad Gita, Antakalicha Mama Evas Paran Muktva Kalevara. So that is the sloka is talking about. What is the proof? In past, all the great sages issued a self-realization by following this path, and hence do not get your intelligence distracted by or lazy. Don't be lazy, don't get distracted, because this is the proven path. Srila Prabhupada hammers this again and again. Follow the path given by previous acharyas. At last, once again, Nandev praises his Guru Nivritinath, who blessed him and was happy when he showed him Haripat. So that is where. So this concludes that. So let's see, but two more are very quickly. Tukaram Maharaj has mentioned based on that. कोणाचे हे घर हा देह कोणाचा? आत्माराम त्याचा तोची जाणे, मी तू हा विचार विवेकी शोधावा, गोविंदा माधव याची देही देही धाता ध्यान त्रिकुटी वेगळा सहस्र दळी उगवला सूर्य जैसा ज्ञानदेव म्हणे नैनांची ज्योती या नावे रूपी ती तुम्ही जाणा नाम संकीर्तन साधन पै सोपे जळतील पाप जन्मांतरीचे न लगती सायास जावे वनांतरा सुखे येतो घरा नारायण ठाईचं बैसोनी करा एकचित्त आवडी अनंत आळवावा रामकृष्ण विठ्ठल केशवा मंत्र हा जपावा सर्व काळ यावीन आणि असता साधन पाहतसे अन विठोबाचे तुका म्हणे सोपे आहे सर्वाहून शहाणा तो धनी घेतो येते हे तुकाराम महाराज concludes. So I'll go to Pasaida because this is recited in many schools. There I remember my son and daughter went in Pune school, Abhinav, and they used to, as a school, small children, they used to recite hardly period. So now after writing all this thing, Nanadev is praying to, Lord, Vishwatmake, that means who is, all, you can say, Ishwar of all this material world, or Vithala. You can take anything. So he's praying, I have written everything, please accept, and we'll see how you visualize that. What is the dream? Naneshwar Mauli after writing this one. आता विश्वात्मके देवे येणे वांगणे सोशावे तोषुनी मद द्यावे पसाय दान हे Pasaidan, he's asking, he's begging to the Vishwatmatike Deve. After completing commentary on Bhagavad Gita, Dhaneshwari, Dhyandev Maharaj begs to the Lord of the universe that he be pleased with his service and shower his blessing. Everybody, all the prayers, we'll be starting with that. And every time the prayers are there, we'll see in Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a prayers. Initially, we pray and then we, glorify the Lord, and then we ask what we want, right? So you'll see all those things here also. So there's no difference. जे खळांची व्यंकटी सांडो तया सत्कर्मी रथी वाढो भूता परस्परे जडो मैत्री जीवाचे very powerful sentence. Lord Krishna talks about eliminating the impious people. Bhagavad Gita, what Lord said, Yatayadai Dharmasya Glane Bhavati Bharata, right? Paritrana, he talks about sadhuna, Vinashaya Drushtana. So he talks about getting rid of them, killing them. Lord talks about Krishna, but look at his devotees. He's not saying like this one, eliminating the impious people, that the pravritti or the sinful activity of the sinful mind, he wants to get rid of that and not the people. So again, this is the glories of devotee. Lord can say anything, but devotees are more compassionate than Lord. Another example. And then there begs for removing the bad and evil thoughts from the minds of these people. Everyone should live in harmony and love with each other, not only human beings, but all living beings. Such is the desire of Nandev Maharaj. Sees well-being for all in the universe. दुरितांचे तिमिर जावो विश्व स्वधर्म सूर्य पाहो जो जय वांगचिल तो ते लाहो प्राणी जात. So he's saying, further Nandel Mauli says, the darkness of all evil, sinful mentality should disappear, and the whole world should see the glowing sun of righteousness prevail. When sunlight exists, there is no ignorance, since everyone will be on the religious or pious path. In that self-realized condition, let everyone get what they desire. Expectation is that they are in the mode of goodness or they are in devotional platform. What we are talking about, one who reads Dhaneshwari, which is a Bhagavad Gita. So fruit of Bhagavad Gita, this is what we have to understand, read that. So goodness and despite service to Lord with a material desire. Lord says that with a desire, no desire, you want liberation, just come to me, right? That's what he talks about. So next line, सर्वत वर्षत सकल मंगली ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांदी आळी अनवरत भूमंडळी भेटू तू या भूता. Considering good consciousness, people everywhere, there will be a peace and happiness. This is what Dhaneshwar Mauli wants to see in the society where there are such a large congregation of people, devotees. What it means, and they remove without any obstacle. That means devotee can travel and there is no demons who stopping spreading the message of Lord, and freely that will benefit all living being, right? So चला चला कल्पतरूचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणीचे गाव बोलते ते अर्णव पियुषाचे. Nande foresees the picture where such pious sages will travel fulfilling the desires of all living beings. like a kalpuduru, gives whatever you desire. Spreading the knowledge just like a touchstone. You touch the stone, it becomes converted to the gold. Like wherever the sages will go, because the people are already in a mood of goodness, or by reading Bhagavad Gita, they are already devotional service. So everything like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed, brought everybody into Vaishnava. Similar is the thought of Naneshwar. These people's talk will be like the ocean of Piyusha, Amruta. Whenever the sages talk or the devotee, the great Bhakta talks about, it's Amruta to everybody, and we'll be spreading this Amruta everywhere through their teaching and sharing their thoughts in the world. These will be like oceans which will last forever. He's not talking about small, like ocean of mercy. चंद्र में जे आलंक्षण मार्तन जे तापहीन ते सर्वा ही सदा सज्जनी सोयरे हो तो. These people will be cool and pleasant like a moon, but will be spotless, unlike a moon. And here these people will be like a sun in the moon, bright and glowing, destroying the darkness of the evil all world. But sun has got heat. He talks about, think of his analogy. But unlike the sun in the moon, they will not be exhibiting the burning heat, and will be good to everyone like a close friends or relatives to all. So even the hot sun for a devotee removes the ignorance. So it is also, is a cooling. किंबहुना सर्व सुखी पूर्ण होईनी तिन्ही लोके भजिजो आदि पुरुखे अखंडित. Thus, everyone will be enjoying the happiness and satisfied in three worlds, and always worship the Adi Purusha, the Supreme Lord. Uh, I think I'll need a just a minute. आणि ग्रंथोपजीविये विशेषी लोकी इथे दृष्टादृशी विजये हो आवे जी. आणि in such a special world, the good will always win over the evil by following scripture, which guides to living being. They will be victorious in this world and next world. येथे म्हणे येथ म्हणे श्री विश्वासराव हा होईल दान पसावो येणे वरे दानदेवा सुखिया झाला. On listening to this prayer from Dhaneshwar, his spiritual guru, Niwrittinath, said, he is the representative of Lord Krishna as a spiritual master. Yes, whatever you say will happen. This will really happen. Whatever you ask for the mankind through this Poseidon will come true. And hearing this, Nanda becomes happy. By seeing Guru happy, he becomes happy. So I'll stop here. I think then let's continue with the next 15 minutes, and then I'll come back. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण राजकुमारी माता जी. हरे कृष्ण राजकुमारी माता जी.
सॉरी आई वॉज ऑन म्यूट. माय दंडवत प्रणाम आप सबको. मैं शत शत नमन टू लॉर्ड कृष्णा भगवत गीता. इसमें भगवान कृष्ण जो है वो अर्जुन को देख रहे हैं कि ये बहुत दुखी है, तो इसमें वो ज्ञान का उपदेश दे रहे हैं. ये दूसरे चैप्टर ज्ञान सांख्य योग से लिए गए हैं. तो इसमें भगवान कह रहे हैं, श्री भगवान वाच अशोच नन्वशोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादंश्च भाषसे गतासून गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः. Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mounting for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. न त्वेवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपा न चैव न vishayam sarve vemata param. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिधीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body or at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. मात्रा स्पर्शासस्तु कौन्तेय शीतोषन् दुःखदा आगाम आगमापायिनो नित्यास्तांस् ततिक्स्व भारत. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, and their disappearance is in due course, are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O section of Bharat, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Yam hi na व्यथन येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ समदुःख सुखम धीरम सोम मृतत्वाय कल्पते. O best among men, Arjun, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sata, ubhayorapi drashton satstavan yo tattvadarshibhi. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. Avinashi tu tadvidhi yenam sarmidam tatam vinashmavyyasyasya ne kaschit kartumarhati. That which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. Antavanti me deha nityasya yokta sharirana anashino premasya tadmas yuddhasva bharata. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharat. Ye enam veti hantaram yaschenam manate hatam ubhau tau ne vijanito naayam hanti nahanjate. Neither he who thinks the living entity, the slayer, nor he who thinks its slain is in knowledge, for the self slays nor is slain. न जायते मियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूय अजो नित्य शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. Primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Thank you, Prabhuji. कुछ मिस्टेक हुई है, माफ करिएगा. मैं आज फर्स्ट टाइम इसको पढ़ रही थी, सेकंड चैप्टर के श्लोक. माफ करिएगा प्रभु जी.
Perfectly all right, Mataji. Very nice. All others, they are also requested to volunteer for this service.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I was not having the PDF of this chapter, so I could not read earlier.
Okay.
In future, I will try to take the PDF and I will do.
So, Prabhuji, can I start? Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Somebody saying something? Okay. So, Hare Krishna devotees. So, welcome back again. And today I'll just share screen and let's do a pranay mantra and then we'll start today. Let me come. Let me spray. Okay. Hare Krishna, I'll share here. So, Hare Krishna. So, today we'll be talking about Sant Choka Mela. Again, yesterday we discussed Janabai, such a great person. So, again, in the same chronological order or same period, we'll be discussing about Sant Choka Mela. So, before we talk such a great personality, such Sadhu, let's pray. So we have I get some qualification or something to speak about such a great person. So let's do a pranay mantra. Om Agyan Timrandasya Gyananjan Salakya Chaksurunmitam Ena Tasmai Sri Guruve Nama Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurur Sri Yuttapadakamalam Sri Gurura Vaishnavancha Surupam Sagrajatam Sagan Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutan Parijan Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Teva Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagan Lalita Sri Vishakam Nincha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपीसे गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिय वाञ्छा कल्प तरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Let's pray for mercy of Srila Prabhupada, mercy of Guru Maharaj, mercy of all devotees, all of you. Whatever I prepared, it's hope it gives some information to you, and it's also for my purification. So yesterday we discussed about Janabai. We saw her birth again in a lower caste family, being woman, and we saw her sloka abhangs, how she describes that, and we saw how the loving relationship built with the Lord Krishna. But despite all that, every day morning, Lord helping her, Lord also tests her by giving a death penalty. And that is what was happened with Danabai, and we'll see what happens with the Sant Chokamera. Again, he's so close. Janabai talks about. So, the Chokka Mirabai saying that one of the Abhangas, it is it is in the heart. It's the heart of Vithala. We see imagine the picture of, Vithala with all his children. One is sitting on his shoulder. Nivritinath and Naneshwar walking front, Muktabai behind, one hand, not Sopandev, and holding the small finger was Namdev Maharaj. And when it comes to Choka Mela, it is in heart. So that is what the Lord is saying. He's close to him, so close to him. So such a great personality. So let's pray that I can do some justice to him. And let's start. So after that, I'll talk about also Mataji wanted Satyaki Mataji. I think Mataji wanted Pundlik, and if time permit, then I will talk about Savantamari, because I'm trying to see how much I can cover in 1 hour, and we'll go ahead from that. So Sant Chokamela, born in again lower family. Again, the year is 73 to 37. This is the period. Again, we are talking about 1250 to 1350. This is the period we are considering 800 years back, and we can only visualize what could have been there at that time, because we are born in a different era. The place is it's Mehun Raj, Buldhana, Maharashtra. The parents are Sudama and Savitri. Wife was Swairabai, wonderful devotee. They have a son called Karma Mela, and Namdev, and his guru was Namdev. So, because that is the period, and he becomes a guru of many. Sant Gnaneshwar Mauli, as we discussed, he lived only for 22 years, and he did not give any, basically, we don't see any accepting disciple. He gave the knowledge, and that much we can see there. So, as devotees of birth, like yesterday we saw 7 years girl coming and how she saw the Lord Vithala. Either was it for the mundane eyes, or was it with the Jnana Chakshu, or was it with the love? When we are in Bhava and Prema, in a relation to look at the Lord is totally different. We don't know how she was looking, but she decided to stay back and serve the Lord there. And that is how accepted. Dashotap Namdev Maharaj. Now here again, Choka Mela, in this case, his birth was so auspicious. So what happened here? The story goes like that. There is one person in a Koregaon near Pune, and he has a mango farm. And when mangoes are there, this is a common tradition that whatever is good that we should give to the Lord. And he found out somebody, a couple, and then said that take to the Pandharpur. In those days there was no train, nothing, right? So they have to walk all along. So give a small basket and said, sir, hand over to Pujari at the Pandharpur so that it can be served to the Lord. So good intention, good everything. The couple was going. The Lord was impatient. When Lord sees that this old couple is coming and bringing this mangoes as usual, he was impatient. So he comes on the way, takes the form of old person, and says, "I'm hungry." So compassion devotees, you can't have parents where such a wonderful son is born. They cannot be ordinary people. So they were always compassionate. They saw what is there, just give some mango to them. So that they had nothing with him, and he was looking very weak and had no food for days together. And they felt compassion. They gave. He took one mango, just chewed it, left it there. And as a mischievous way, Lord does so many things. Like looks like us for mischievous, but he has purpose. He picks out another third mangoes and all that he does that. And so she picks up anyway, whatever he just tastes little bit up and leave it there. So carries everything, goes to that, they travel to Pandharpur, and as usual hand over to the pujaris, and pujari counts that mangoes. There was a note given how many mangoes are there. Some mangoes were short of that, and eventually that lady looks at, and they found that mango which Lord choked, or he sipped. There was a small baby. So the birth of Choka Mela. Choka is it is the ones who not a chew, but take a mangoes and put in the mouth and suck it, right? So that is Choka. That is the Marathi word, and Mela. So he did with that. So Lord was this Choka Mela was born from there. So not an ordinary person, such a wonderful devotee, and who has a mercy of Lord, who can do anything with such a great soul. Not a lot of information is available about on that. So let's. This is the picture I could get it. This is Samadhi. The Samadhi is also close to Vittal Mandir today in Pandharpur, and he was always engaged in kirtan. His profession as being born in a that lower caste family, that any dead animal that was nobody used to touch, and his job was to pull them and throw it outside the village, do all manual work, and whatever in turn people will give, he used to accept and carry out his carry out his life. So that was his that is how his life. So so such a great person, there are will have wonderful pastimes. So some of the pastime I remember, which I had noted here. There are many pastime of that. So whatever I remember, I just I could see that. Let's recite. Let's discuss on that. So Delhi of Swairabani. So as days passed, Swarabai, they were expecting Toka Mela and Swarabai. They were expecting a baby child. And as a practice that as that she got the pain, so he just goes out to looking for some help, like in those villages, that ladies are there, old ladies, they go and assist in a delivery process. He goes out, he comes out of the house and start walking, and then it's a dindi, that means a procession, going towards Pandharpur. So again, as a devotees, he gets enchanted and he forgets everything for what he has come and join that procession to, and he goes to Pandharpur. Takes 1 day, 2 days, 2.5, 3 days, and he travels there. He forgets everything. What he has come. His wife is expecting some help. She is in great pain. He joins that procession to Pandharpur, and he goes there, everything is done. He's these devotees, they don't enter into the temple because lakhs and lakhs of people travel. They see the peak of the temple, and they come out. So on the way, they do bhajans, and so many things happens, right? As when devotees meet, what happens there? So that is the procession. He reaches there, takes darshan, and he remembers well. I left the house looking for some person, and he really frightens at that time. Runs to the home back. It was not closed. Couple of days. He comes home, getting out. He was so much terrified. How can I face my wife now, right? So she was expecting. She was a great pain. I really I messed up everything. Doesn't blame the Lord, because Lord only motivated. And as he reaches home, he hears the sound of a baby. So some breath, some cooling effect came. He thought, okay, baby is delivered. So because looks like a healthy. So that first reaction. Then he enters the house. Wife was so cheerful, and he says, she doesn't ask that where you was for 3 days. So she was so enchanted. He said, you sent that lady, old lady, so nice. She did everything for me, served me, and had a baby. Look at such a wonderful baby, and it won't take such a time to understand it was Lord Vittal. So always he helps his devotees. So again, he came, served Choka Swairabai in her delivery process, and the baby was born and baby was healthy, and that is the name I just showed. He also becomes a great saint as we move forward. So Lord always help those are devoted to him. So far so good. It's a happy, happy things. So next one is that as he was doing, he has nothing to offer, because whatever he is to pick up from the house where he was serving or helping, doing manual work, whatever the left out they were giving, that was their daily routine. So once he had something, some person gave something better thing. So he traded for a banana. He had a desire. Okay, I always, whatever I bring, what can I help? I am born in a such a there, but he was not pathetic on that part. Only he was thinking that I really cannot serve. So he was chanting his name only. There was nothing to do anything. But he was not ordinary person. So he purchased traits, whatever. Rather, his wife says that take these grains or something and buy something. And he goes there and he forgets everything. He sees the banana there and he forgets what wife told. He picks up bananas there, because for a long time he never offered that bananas, because he has no money there. And he purchased bananas and he was happy. Now today my Lord will be very happy. Somehow I managed. Remember, it was not easy for him, but that particular thing mother, that wife gave, that could have helped him on next couple of days to have some food on the table. And but he gave that. It said that we hear that whatever the dear to you, you should sacrifice or give for the Lord. So look at that again. Such a great Vaishnava. And the banana, he comes and with a happy mood, he goes to the Pandharpur and offers to those pujaris. They refuse to accept. And they said that you are so fallen, so rather you are from such a low, you are touched that we can't offer to the Lord. They refuse to accept it. Now he was really feeling bad, and he was kicked out from there, and he comes home and thinking, really crying. For the first time, I had something nice to offer for the Lord, but these people are not allowing that, and he thinks it's a Lord's desire also, because that was there. And then he goes home and he was crying, Lord, I didn't obey my wife. That was food for the next couple of days, and I purchased for you. Maybe you motivated me. Think up here. You motivated me to buy this one, and because without your motivation, I would have followed what my past to bring something, right, maybe salt or whatever is required, right, for household thing. But I purchased, so it was your motivation, and when I came here, you did not accept. And then what can I do with this one? And he was crying. He goes home and sits there, absolutely demotivated in the sense Lord did not accept. So like demotivation happens like person like me, not devotee, but such a great devotee, they don't get it. They don't lose hope. They feel I could not help the Lord. I could not serve him. And it was his. So time passes. In the evening, Lord comes to his home and ask, give me those bananas. And he says, no, you did not accept when I came there. Then he gives a lot of argument. Who is going to explain to those guys, those pujaris? I have come to your home. I'm really hungry. I did not eat anything, whatever they offered. I need your bananas. And then they had a good conversation between Lord and devotees. He heard many conversation, right? So one of those conversation takes place here. And then Lord says, he says, okay, you have come. So he offers the banana. He eats there. And not only that, he said that, couple of left out. Also, Rukmini Mataji, she is also hungry because I am hungry. She didn't eat anything. So both of us, we are only looking at you. And he carries that banana, and Rukmini also eats, and she throws that peel up in the temple itself. So morning, when the pujaris come, they open the door, they say pilaf, and that they immediately remember what must have happened on that. And so what happens here? Lord doesn't open the door. Okay, so I just missed one line. So next day, Pujari comes, wants to open door. Lord doesn't open. It closed from inside, doesn't come. So Pujari knows something has got wrong. The sound comes from inside. He says that I will not open the door unless until you take the palanquin. Remember, he said, take a palanquin, go to this. This is the place where he is staying there. My devotee came. You did not allow him, and put him in the palanquin and come with a band and some all musical and all that, chanting his name. You come here. So there was no option for those pujaris because the door did not open the door, and they could realize. I think this pujari, they knew that when Lord is in a different mood, he does all this kind of things. So it was not the first time. There are some other time something has happened. Maybe as we go forward, we'll learn those things. So they go beg him, and he was very happy. More than that, they bring him here, and he comes and sees the Lord. So that is one of the pastime. So Lord has his own way of doing it, teaching to the others, by his experience or through the devotees. This is the one time. So another time is another time, he goes to the temple. This was maybe sequentially. I'm not telling that there, and the pujaris were not allowing it to come inside, and he waits outside. The doors were closed that day. I think this was the first time he walked along with the son. There is a little pastime I'll talk about that his son and Swairabai and Chokamira, they were going to Pandor for first time. This is what happened. So they don't allow because they were from the lower caste, and they wait outside. In the evening, when the doors were closed, Lord comes, takes them inside. And whatever the garland was here, this was ordinary garland, not like yesterday we discussed, it was made of gold and diamond. Here, simple pastime. That garlands, Lord, he puts on his hair, on his neck, and he was very happy. They chant, they remain in the temple night. As morning was approaching, he says, "You leave," and he comes out outside. But he forgets again. Lord doesn't do anything just like that, right? So he see the garland. The garland was on Choka Mehra's neck, and so he comes out. And in the morning, Pujari see that garland. They had suspicion. Maybe they thought something else goes inside. The garland is missing. They come out and they beat him so much, Chokamera. So again, he takes him inside, in the night, and he gives his darshan and gives that garland and also gives a good thrashing in a beating. So they beat him very badly, and because they know he's not ordinary person, so he should not come again and again. What they do, they bring a bullock, typically in villages, two bullocks, and there's a wooden plank, and they tie up with a rope to him, and they think that this guy needs a really punishment so that he doesn't dare to come to this temple anymore. And he was dragged. The idea was that they get a big, strong bulls, and the idea was that he will be pulled along outside so that he will die, or he will get such a bruises or a punishment, so he'll not dare. So eventually, what happens? All they do it, and they thought that the bull will pull. Nothing happened. When the Lord does, there's a lesson for everybody. But Chokamera has no issue. He was cool. They tied his hand, and it was supposed to be a drag. The bull stopped. Lord was standing in front of that where the bulls will go. So again, they realize, and they pay obeisances to Chokamera. This has been described in a great detail by many other, speakers. So this was really, when I heard this one, it was really pathetic. How Lord teaches to the people. Sometimes we misunderstand Lord, why he's doing. But again, he has a faith in the Lord. Chokamera, by now, he has learned many things. This is the Lord's desire, and he obliged. Whatever you want to do, you drag, you want to put, we trample me, doesn't make a difference. Lord is with me. That was only thing in the. So, um, uh, so bull stops, and then they realize those pujaris and all those other people, they organize punishment to him, and they pray for him. So this repeated many times. It is not that one time happened, somebody realized and they did. No, it repeated. This kind of thing happened again and again. So another time, Sokamela, he gets a good wheat out somewhere, and he tells wife. Wife was also devotee. Now we are not, we didn't offer Lord for a long time. Very nice food, So let's do, let's Puran Poli. That was some festival, special sweet. It's like a chapati, but we add the sweet inside on that. So-called Puran Poli, typical of Maharashtra, and they prepared with a great efforts, and their only hope was that something I get, whatever they used to get, their only thought was that how can I use in his service. That was his motivation. Whether he got something and saw the nice bananas were attracting, as we discussed, so he wanted to buy something, he picked up something. He wanted to get some help for a wife's delivery, he saw that, he disappeared, went to Pandharpur. Lord assisted there. Now here also the similar thing happens. He prepares and offers. He was so happy. My Lord must be happy, because this is the Vitthal also gets a bhoga, opulent bhoga. It's not an ordinary temple. This temple belongs to the state government. Who is the chief minister? He does a puja in Ashadi Ekadashi. So still, it's not like unlike a temple. So this is the Maharashtra government is the ownership, and they take care of the temple. And so there's opulence bhoga there. And the way we see other temples, early morning 4 o'clock, you can see kakda aarti, how the lord's full body, they do abhishek. Online YouTube you can see, so eyes can get satisfied. Such a beautiful form of the lord standing, how they do aarti, and that, and then there's opulent bhoga. uh, so that is the routine process. So he prepares, offers, he thinks that he has done, because remember that whatever he prepared, that means he was to go hungry for some time, because there was not enough. Right? It is not that he has all that ingredient, so today he decided for a change will do. That was not the situation. The Lord sees not the what you give, he sees your heart, right? Anything that you want to give to him, that is what he looks. And then he was very happy. He offers the Lord, and he slept, and Lord says that, hey, Soka, why did you take so much of the trouble? Anyway, I was happy whatever roti you was giving. Right. So again, we hear Sanatan Goswami, right? Lord, today you are asking little bit of salt. Tomorrow you will ask me from where I'm going to get it. Right. So mindset is not a different. So here it's the other way. He offers so much of thing to Lord. He says, Soka, I'm happy whatever dry roti you give me. I don't need. I am more pleased with you. So don't take a trouble, because offering this one day means that his couple of the meals he has to escape. Right. So that was one of the say. So second thing, as I said, that one time the son was 8, 10 years grown up child. So they decide to go to the Pandharpur, and some people were talking about sweets, and he has never tasted sweet, and he asked mother, ये sweet क्या होता है? What is that sweet होता है? Now, the person who has not tested anything, it's very difficult. And our acharyas talks a great detail. Somebody has never tasted. Like yesterday, I gave an example. A dumb man, you give something sugar to taste and ask how it tastes. He can't explain physical handicap. But here, it was not the case. One who has not tasted, how can you explain what sweet means in his life? Then he gives the example of it tests like this one, it tests like this one, it doesn't work, and then he sees on the way some sugar cane. He says the real sweet is a better than this sugar cane. So you can see through this we can understand what could have been the family life at that time, and through what they were going through this one. Then there's a one more, Sokamura constantly chanting the name of Pandana and cleaning the temple premises. However, he was not allowed inside the premises. And Okay, so what has happened? He was, one of the time he was thrown out of that. He was told, "Don't come. You once Lord accepted, it's okay. Next time, don't show up." They tell, "Go behind the river. There's a Chandrabhaga river. You go to the other side and stay, so that expectation is he will not cross the river every now and then." So one day, someone questioned the futility of devotion to the Lord. Then he said, why you are coming? We have been asking you not to come. And then you never be able to see the Lord. That's what the pujaris and those other people tell him. Humiliated and deeply hurt, Chokamera abstained from taking food and wept inconsolably. When Pandurang appeared before him, embracing him, took him inside the temple and talked to him. The temple priest was outraged as he felt that temple was desecrated by Chokamera and ordered him to stay across the river Chandrabhaga. Choka please fell on the deaf ears, and at last Choka went to stay across the river. However, Lord started visiting there. Rod started going the other side of the river. One day, as the priest was passing by Choka's hut, when Choka was taking lunch with a Panduranga. So Panduranga was going and taking lunch there. Swairabe was serving. The priest could not see the Pandurang. He could not see. As his mind was impure, Swairabe spilled the curd on Pandurang's pitambar, that clothes, by mistake. Choka explained, oh, Swaira, you have soiled the Pandurang's Pitambar. That means you have spoiled that clothes, right? Priest felt that it was deliberate because they are joking. And because he also seen that Vittal, taking him inside. So he knew that praise. But, again, Lord gives that intelligence to him. He comes and he feels that he's already irritating him. The priest comes and gives a big slap on his face. So this kind of, this thing happened many times in his life. There are many incidences here. I just picked up a few out of that. Let's see, he has written many abhangas. Couple of them I'll just recite here. Sant Janabai, what he talks about Choka Mela. They were contemporary. I think Choka Mela was older than the Sant Janabai. She writes about him. Chokha Mela Sant Bhala. He was the great sage. Tene Deva Bhulubila. We saw that Tene Deva Bhulubila. The Lord who made fool of others. Maybe God put him to the trouble. Many times. Bhakti आहे ज्याची मोठी त्याला पावतो संकटी. But always Lord was with him, despite his testing him and showing to the other. The Lord was always with him. चोका मेळाची करणी देव तेने देव केली ऋणी. So Lord was holding him in his heart. We saw that, like for the Choka Mela. So Lord was feeling obliged to him by saying his devotion. Laga Vitthal Charni Mane Namiyachi Jani. So she means he was at the lotus feet of Lord Vithala. Again, so this was Janabai glorifying Choka Mela, and through them we hear about this get sages. They have not written their biographies. Through those great devotees, whatever they written, we gave a glimpse of there. So this is Chokam Abhang. अजी दिवस धन्य सोनियाचा जीवलगा विठोबा भेटलसे त्याने सुख समाधान झाली विश्रांती दुजे नाथपती चित्ती काही समाधान जीव राहिला निश्चल गेले हळहळ त्रिवी ताप. I'll go to the next one, okay, because I think I have a few minutes here. ऊस डोंगा परी रस नवे डोंगा काय भुललाशी वरिली रका. When the people were criticizing, he was saying, as sugar cane is a bend, right? It's not a straightforward, but the juice inside is not a bend. Juice is juice. काय भुललाशी वरले रंगा. He used to talk to the Brahmanas, to the other people. Why you are thinking that I am born with such a low caste, but look at my devotion. Why you are getting a illusion, right? Kamano dongi pare tira nove donga. Like when you enter into the village, that it's a bend, right? It's there. But the road is not a road, is straightforward. Kaya bhululashi varla ranga. So he gives some analogies there. Nadi dongi pari jala nove donga. River goes bend, like takes turn, but the water is not there. Kai bhululashi varle ranga. Soka donga pari bhava nave donga. He says, Sokha may be teda, is not a straight or born in such a, here analogy is born in such a pathetic or, class. But my bhav, my bhakti is not a illusion. That's what he talks about. Let's see, anything I can take one. Okay, so. धाव घाली विठू आता धाव घाली विठू आता चालू नको मंद. बडवे बज मारिती ऐसा काय ऐसे काय. This talks about when the those pujaris, they were beating him. Badwa is the name, the pujaris of Vithala. And he says, hey Vithala, don't come slowly, come running, they are beating me. तरी अपराध काहीतरी अपराध ऐसा काहीतरी अपराध. What I done? So they are beating me. विठोबाचा हार तुझे कंठी कैसे आला? I told you that past time. But those people were saying that how you got that garland? शिव्या देती हे म्हणती महादेव महादेव दे बाटविला. He said, you are such a low caste. You touch the Lord's garland, and so the Lord has become inauspicious, or whatever you call that word. I don't want to use here. So जोडीने कर चोखा विनवते देवा बोलीला उत्तरी परी राग नसावा. So he is praying to the Lord, come, and but anyway, they gave a good thrashing to him. on that. Such a wonderful devotee, and so how he died, how he left the body. There are a lot of detailed description where the village he was living. There people, there were rich business people. They wanted to avoid, those lower caste people to come. So they want to, build a wall around. So he was forced to do that, and one time the wall collapsed, and a lot of people died there, and in that also he lost Sokamela. So devotees come, yeah, and they also disappear. We saw Muktabai and other of Nandev Mauli. So Muktabai and Nivritinand, they were walking along the Godavari River, and the storm came, and Muktabai disappeared. Again, Nivritinand, after some time, he took a samadhi. We see all those things there. So it is not unusual. This is a samadhi. I'll just go. I'll take a 1 minute before I take a break here. His wife writes something about Choka Mela. Such a wonderful devotee. अवघा रंग एक झाला, अवघा रंग एक झाला, रंग रंगीला श्रीरंगा. He says, the light, white light is mix of, seven colors. You think of all that shades you see, but ultimately, Vitthal is the root of everything. तुम्ही गेले वाया पाहता पंढरीच्या राया. We forgot everything. नाही भेदाची ते काम पळोनी गेले क्रोध काम. देही दे असोनी देही दे दे. तदा समाधीस्थ पाही पाहते पाहणे गेले दुरीत तू म्हणे चोखियाची मारे. So this is there. Naam Ucharni, I'll just take one more and then we stop here. The Kalikal Nam, glories of name, how it is talk. Kalikal Kape Nam Ucharita. That means, this age of Kali doesn't approach him. Vital Maniti Kai Siddhi, Kadi Siddhi. You chant and the Kali Yuga will not affect you. त्रिअक्षरी जप सुलभ सोपा रे, वाचे ते उद्धारी सर्व काळ विठ्ठल. राईट. भावताप श्रम हरे भाव व्यधा आज नका पंथा जाऊ एनी. यू जस्ट चांट हिज नेम, डोंट डू एनीथिंग एल्स और गो एनीवेअर. नामाचा विश्वास धड धरी अंतरी. नामदेव, he says, नाम, that taking the name of a Lord is the only faith, and that is only म्हणे तशी महारी. So there are many here. I'll just stop because I need to, go to the next one. So Prabhuji, I'll take a 5 minute break. Is that okay now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji, can I go ahead?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Welcome back again. So, this was the mother's request talk about with Pandharpur. So, Pandharpur Dham, a lot of things are there. I'll talk when we reassemble, maybe after Charu Prabodh or when we restart the Bhakta Maal. I will need a couple of days. We'll go in details where the reference of Vithala is there, what you can see in Pandharpur, where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he stayed there, what he did there, where again Nityananda Prabhu was also there. So there are other devotees also. They have visited the place, and we will go through next time. But I'll give high level as we are talking about Sant Punle about him. So it's said that it's the same period, little early before. Parents' name is Janu Devi and mother was Satyavati. Both Janu Devi, Dev and Satyavati were great devotees of Lord Krishna. Pundlik is credited to have brought Vithoba to Pandharpur, where Vithoba's main shrine stands today. So if I'll show you a picture, it's written there in the river where the Lord comes to meet Pundle. So it's written there, Parabrahma Ale Pundilaka Bheti. Translation of that, Parabrahm, Lord descends to meet Bhakta Pundlika. So that's the meaning. It's written there very nicely, and I'll show you how it looks at that. So again, how it's described, not one great devotee, but it's a nice wording. So I just thought, why not, you use this. So Pundlika Bheti Parabrahm Ale. So Parabrahm is Lord Krishna or Vitthal. He arrives here. कलियुगा माझे अपरूप झाले. In कलियुगा भक्ताच्या दर्शने भगवंत आले. Normally, we go to meet a Lord, but here Lord comes to see his devotee. Pundlika Bheti Parabrahma Ale. There is another instance we'll see in Eknath Maharaj's time when we'll discuss about. So Pundlika Bheti Parabrahma Ale. To meet a Pundlika, Lord come. Pundlikashi Dhav Gei Srihari Katevari. So he comes there and Pundlika was busy. We'll see that pastime, and he's standing there, putting the hands on his waist. उभा विटेवरी नित्य पंढरी नाम घोष चाले धन्य पुंडलिका धन्य त्याची सेवा भूलोकी आणिला. So glorification of Pundlika, he brought that Lord there. कैवल्याच्या ठेवा, Lord is a कैवल्य. पिढ्या 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 यावरी उपकार केले. All the generation, विठ्ठल चरणी नाही भेदभाव, नाही जात-पात. There is no discrimination at the lotus feet of Lord Vithala. Nahi rank, rich or poor or from any caste. And we are seeing that example after example. Samteचा ओघ पुढे पुढे चाले. So all this thing, whatever I have here, this is from Loknath Maharaj. He is a book. So all authentic, we don't have any worry. I'll go very quickly. Loknath Maharaj is also, as I mentioned, he's called the Tukaram, second Tukaram Maharaj. And, he is credited to, read lot of scripture wherever he goes. He dedicates because in Maharashtra, in a Marathi public, so he always bring the great one of these Vaishnavas before he starts anything there. So Leknath Maharaj writes in his book that the last life Pundlika was a famous king Mukchkunda, and that we know about Srimad Bhagavatam. Mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam to be blessed to a slave for a long and secluded slave. We know that he was serving the demigods and he was so tired. Then he asked demigod, "No, I'm fighting for you for such a long time." Heavenly planets, right? So he says, I need a place. So they ask, what boon you want? He says, I'm so tired, I need a place to sleep, right? That is the boon he asks. So, and then they give this place to hide or sleep. And they also say that he said, nobody should disturb me. And they said, anybody disturb you will, when you look at them or open your eyes, he will get burned to ashes. So Lord does how he performs, one thing breeds to another one, like a pastime. The story illustrates that further how the Lord Krishna very expertly arranged the killing of Kaliyavarna, right? and also based Muchkunda. The same Muchkunda was reborn again as a Pundlika. And we know the prayers of Muchkunda when he asked, "Who are you?" and the discussion between them. Lord, he says, and that time, uh, just because Lord, normally we expect when we have darshan of a Lord, there's no birth again. Just you go back. But since Pundlika was not a devotee, sorry, King Muchkunda was not devotee, he was fighting for for devtas, demigods for a very long time. So a lot of sin was created, sin was there, and he tells them go to the north, right, to Badrinath, and then he gives the process, right. So this is where he is born here, Pandharpur. So now, was he born as a devotee? No. Story is altogether different. So again, story of Lord coming to here to meet Pundlika, the Padma Puran and the Skanda Puran briefly describe why the Lord journeyed to Pandharpur and why he stayed there in this form. But Srimati, so this form, this is up to we see here like a Muchkunda, and will not go into details. Now he takes a birth here in a family, and he was very nasty. He didn't treat. I think the Leelas will come. He doesn't treat his parents nicely. They Before marriage he was nice. After marriage everything changes. That we talk about many times. It happens, right? So he was mistreating, and then parents were sick of that. They want to go Tirth Yatra. They thought that, okay, why we'll allow them only to go? So both of them decide we'll also go. And they will assist, and they were really this old couple and this young two, Pundlik and his wife, they are really harassing them. And some scene I'm going to discuss here. And that changed the mind, and he becomes a Pundlika, and the story starts with that. So what happened once why Lord comes to Pandharpur? So this is where again we are just going back. Once Srimati Radharani, Lord Krishna's consort in the village of Vrindavan, visited Dwarka, where Lord don't go only what happened this time, because this happened long back, right? So Krishna, not me as the Lord Krishna as a supreme, as a original, but somebody comes here, right? Always, all yuga, there's the Lord Ram comes, Twapar yuga, Lord Krishna comes, Sat yuga, there is always Narsim Bhagwan appearing, right? The cycle repeats there, that we understand. So once Srimati Radharani, he visits Dwarka. So normally, as a typical, at that time, Rukmini Devi, Lord Krishna's queen, noticed that Krishna was dealing more intimately with Radharani. Rukmini sees that, and he had never done with her. So upset, Rukmini was upset. She departs to Dindiviram. This is mentioned in many Puranas. That's basically Pandharpur, near Pandharpur. So Lord Krishna followed Rukmini to apologize, but his apology left her unmoved. So the Lord moved to the Pandharpur. So Lord doesn't do so. Pretexts to bring her back, Rukmini. She was not obliged. She was not coming back. So Lord, remember, having come down here, my devotee has taken a birth. Let me go and meet him. So this is the context here. So Pandharpur to visit his devotee Bhakta Pundlika, now popularly known as Maharashtra Pundlika. So Loknath Maharaj mentions in his book that Pundlika is the young, is never looked again. Something is here also we can see. He never looked after the needs of his father, Dev and mother Satyavati. Both Dev and Satyavati were great devotees of Lord Krishna. When Pundlik got married, he started ill-treating them all the more. Tired of his tyranny, the parents decided to head to Kashi, and it is said that those who die in Kashi attain salvation and liberation from the cycle of birth. And then this is the still believed, and that was the purpose. But again, these two children also, their son and daughter-in-law, they join him. So one day they were traveling, they take a rest in one place, and this is where the mind changed. So I'll read this few lines here. On the way, they came across a hermitage in the great sage Kakut Muni. Tired of a long journey, the group decided to spend some days there. That night, Pundlik lay awake and witnessed something remarkable. Just before dawn, he saw a group of beautiful young women dressed in a dirty clothes enter the sage's hermitage. They did chores like cleaning the floor, fetching water, and washing the sage's clothes. After that, they went to the prayer room, and when they came out, their clothes were spotless, clean, and they disappeared. So this was surprise. The dirty clothes they went inside the ladies, and when they came out, they were clean after some service, cleaning the sage's clothes. So Pudlik was alarmed seeing this, but rather he felt at peace. He kept thinking about the incident, and following day he wanted to be sure that he was not dreaming, but had truly got closer and decided to speak to the woman. Okay, who are you? He asked them. We are Ganga and Yamuna and all the holy rivers of India. People take a deep and bath in us and to wipe away their sins. The impunity of their mind, body, and souls make us dirty. That is why you see our clothes in such a filthy condition. Pundlika was ashamed, amazed with their answer. So he was comparing, what was happening. But you are a bigger sinner, those ladies, Ganga, Yamuna, they devotees of Lord, right? They said, but you, the Pundlika, they are saying that you are the biggest sinner of all because the way you treat your devotee parent. This was the rude awakening for Pundlik. He realized his mistake and changed his ways. He served his parents well and looked after all their needs and comforts. Seeing Pundlika's sincere devotion and service toward his parents, Lord Krishna was extremely pleased. So this was the reason why uh, Lord comes to meet Pundlika. When Lord reached Pundlika's ashram, Pundlika was serving his elderly parents. So Pundlika gave the Lord a seat of the brick and asked him to wait till the parents sleep. I'll show a picture. And while he was waiting, Rukmini, having forgotten her distress, came from the divan and rejoined him. So both of them stayed in Pandharpur. We see, but they are not together. Like Vitthal and Rukmini, they are not together. Vitthal is inside the sanctorium, the Rukmini, and there's a Radha also. We see the Radha also outside periphery, but in the same main temple, we see there. So stood asked, the Lord did as told, and he stood lotus hand on his hip, waiting for Pundlik to return. While he was waiting, Rukmini, having forgotten the distress, she also appears there. While waiting, the Lord seems to tell the devotees, do not fear. Okay, for those who have surrendered unto me, I have reduced their depth of ocean. So the another analogy, why is putting his hands on the on his waist right here. So he said that the ocean is only that deep 2 feet, 3 feet below. So don't worry, you won't you won't deep the water is not that deep. Analogy, that's a thinking also. This indicates the shallowness of the ocean by placing his hands on his hips, elegantly dressed in a yellow and other clothes. Lord Vithala wears around his neck Vajanti and garland tulsi. These are description we see. So some pictures to show. Uh, Lord Krishna comes search of Rukmini in Didivan, and this description we see in many places. Pundlika offers Lord Krishna a brick to wait. Parents are sleeping. Lord comes, he's through the brick here. And so the Pundlinga temple is about half kilometer. You see in the river. This is the temple, and as I was mentioning here, there's an inscription here. Here I'm just showing at the top of the door. So it written in Marathi that Parabrahma has come down to meet Pundlika. So this is the description. So Loknath Maharaj, when I share, you can click and you can get a lot of information on that. So let's see some of the great devotees how they are describing. I just saw that one place Adi Shankaracharya, how he describes about this pastime. Mahayoga Pithe Tate Bhimaratha Vari Pundarikaya Dhatu Munindra. His समागत्य निष्ठांत मानंद कंदम परब्रह्म लिंग Bhaje Pandurangam. I worship Parabrahman, Panduranga, who came to the holy seat at the banks of the river Bhima. It's called Bhima Chandrabhaga because the main city. It takes like half a moon circle. That's why again Chandra, that moon shape Chandrabhaga is a half circle. It's called, but it's a Bhima river along with the seers to give a boon to the devotee Pundlika. So this is a Adi Shankaracharya is also mentioning. So again, Padma Purana talks about here. As per the reference found in Padma Purana and Skanda Purana, it can be observed that the temple for Pandharpur has been famous since ancient time. Since those times, the people used to visit Pandharpur for the darshan. Uh, Padma Puran has mentioned that devotee Pundlik had sought a boon from deity Pandurang that let his sin of all people coming for his darshan get destroyed. And that's what the Vittal is standing. Because once Vittal was there, he was free from that. Vittal was about to leave and said, since you have come, don't leave, because devotees with in this Kali Yuga, they will come and they need your mercy, and that's he's staying there. The boon also sought the devotee Punlik Skanda Puranam. So iti stutva tato devam praga gada gadaya gira anainam nava rupapena tvayat steyim mamantike jnana vijnana hinana mudhanyam papi namami darshanante bhaven moksha prayayami puna puna. Thereafter he praised the God and gladly requested him, please be with me in this same form. I humbly request again and again at your lotus feet, and that merely by your divine vision, let even the stupid, ignorant, and sinful people get liberated. As Mother yesterday, Samta Matari was asking, yes, when Lord came, the soil is a white, it's a loose soil, very little rainfall in that. It's a kind of dry area. So when the Lord was coming in chariot, we saw that all the dust, Krishna's body being black, and the dust, that white dust spread on him. So it's also because of that he become Pandurang. Pandur is a white. So Rang is a color. So he was looking as a white. So again, that name is there. Second is a Vithala. That means one who is standing on the brick. Wheat is again that brick in a Marathi, and who is standing on that is called Vithala. That's one there. So again, son Janabai, she talks about here the sloka. Uh, पुंडलिके नवल केले गोपी गोपी गोपाळ आणिले हेची देई ऋषिकेशी तुझे नाम हरनिशी न लगे आनिक प्रकार मुखी हरी निरंतर रूप न्याहाळणी डोळा पुढे नाचेन वेळोवेळा सर्वटाई तुझ पायी ऐसे देवनी करी साह्य धावा करिता रात्र झाली दाशी जनाशी भेट दिली. We saw that in the night how the Lord comes to her dream. So she brings out. So from this only we know many pastime. Otherwise, there is no biography written by anyone. So again, she's going Pundlika Naval Kele. It was unexpected, right? Lord to appear to meet him. Gopi Gopal Anle. He's a Gopi Gopal. It's a Lord. Hechi Dei Rishikeshi. We know Rishikesh again. तुझे नाम अहर्निशे न लगे आनी का प्रकार मुखी हरि निरंतर because chanting his name Lord appeared there. रूप नाळीना डोळा, this Janabai says, पुढे नाचे न वेळो वेळा. With a happy she was dancing. It is said that she showed all Ashtavikar expression Janabai showed again and many times. She was sometimes dancing, sometimes fainting, tears rolling. Whenever the sages were coming for Ekadashi in Namdev's place, she was observing there, and that is why Namdev Maharaj also observed Janabai is not ordinary person, right? That is what is showed. Sarvadai tuja pai aisa devni kari करी साय धावा करिता रात्र झाली दाशी जनेसी भेट दिली. So I have finished on that. I have 5 minutes. Quickly, I can introduce our Prabhuji. If you got something, If I had 10 more minutes, I can take you through one more, whatever you want.
Yes, yes, yes. You please take 10 minutes more.
Okay. So I will tell you Narhari, not Narhari Solar. What happened here? I'll quickly walk through one more nice devotee. Samanta Malin. Okay, I don't need a lot of time. So I was saying that all craftsmen, we Maharashtra call Bara Baludar. One is a barber, one is a tailor, one is a goldsmith, another is a blacksmith, one is who grows flowers. All different categories of the people. Who assist taking the dead animals. Different things are there, right? So every village you will see those are there. So for he has devotees from all, from barber community, from tailor community. We saw Namdev name that. I don't, because if I say some word unnecessarily, it will not be misspelled. I'm just using as the lower. So he picks up from everything. Such a great devotee. So we remember, Lord gives such a role to a one person who is a great devotee. And we saw about Janabai, right? And we saw difference. Namdev, there's nothing to compare. We cannot compare one devotee with other. So devotees are devotees. They have the same category. They have same adhikar. Their devotion is the same, because they were in close touch with Lord Vitthal. So again, there's one another Sant Savanta Mali. He is a gardener basically. So for a change, we always see devotee visits, go to see the Lord, but here Lord comes to see him. Again, this is another one, Punlik, but Punlik is only serving the parents. Lord come, but he's not credited other than that. He has not written books. He has not done anything. We don't see any of that thing. So many times he's not categorized as a, great son, in that way, that he has not written anything, and we, other than bringing the Lord, we don't see hear anything much about Lord, about the Pundlika. Santa Savanta Malim. So this is again Arnab Kedi, Arnabendi, near Pandharpur, Solapur, in the Maharashtra. Parents were parents, I think I misspelled here, and Sadhu. Okay, I don't have that right name. I had to there. And both were religious and devotees of Lord Vitthal. Wife was Janai. Never visited Pandharpur. Again, not far away from Pandharpur, but never visited Pandharpur. Such a wonderful devotee. Lord comes and meet him. Okay. And never visited Pandharpur. Belonged to. He always believed the Lord is everywhere. We may not accept that philosophy, but Lord is everywhere. But if you chant His name, serve with honesty, and see, he was saying, being a farmer or a gardener, he's not only cultivating the flowers, but also grocery and other stuffs also he was growing and serving to the Lord, those who coming, and that is how he was living on that. So what Namdev says, writes about him, about the Saunta Malin. So Namdev Maharaj said, Dhanyate Arana is a place. Dhanya, it's so blissful. Ratnachiya Khan, such a great devotee, was born. Jalmala Nidhan Savantato. Savanta is a name. Mali Savanta is his name. Such a great devotee, like Ratna. It's a gem you can call. Was born. So he praises that village where such a great personality was born. Savanta Sagara, Premacha Agara. Savanta was a sagar. It's like a ocean, mercy of ocean. प्रेमाचा आगर, लव, अगेन custodian of love, घेतला अवतार माळ्याच्या घरी. He took there. So Lord visits Savanta. So he believed in doing a job, serving devotees who were coming, chanting Lord's name. And one day, Lord Vitthal, along with the Namdev, I always remember Vitthal, one side is the Naneshwar Mauli, another is Namdev. You call left and right, whatever, it doesn't make difference. Both are his hands, Lord Vithal's hand there. And they are always accepted in that way. So once he wanted to visit another devotee, that's Kamdas. There was one person, Kamdas. So Vittal said, let's go. And takes Namdev and Jnanedev together, and they three walk in. As they were passing through the place of Savantamali, his place, Lord, always Lord is Lord, right? He said, just wait, and I will meet my duty. I'll come back. And these are again Namdev, Dhaneshwar Mauli. They are not ordinary. They see the Lord intention. He goes inside and tell that Santa, Savantamali tells it that it was, I believe it's a evening, that's what he said. Two thieves are following me. You protect me, you hide me. That's what he says. So where he can hide, he looks all the places where I can hide, and they remembers, the Lord is sitting in my heart. I said, Lord, I have no better place than for you to keep it. My place is only in my heart. He opens the heart and he said, get in. Lord can get anywhere, right? Hide there. And so that is what happened. And these two the devotees waited. Lord is not coming back. They know, this was not the first time interaction with the Lord, right? Lord Vittal. So after long time, they come back and see that, and they ask, they don't find Lord, and he doesn't tell anything, because this is what Lord tells them: thieves are following me, right? How the Lord tricks them. So the realizing Naneshwar and Namdev, they realized Lord is inside them. They could see that his presence inside him. Okay, they were planning to go to Kamdas place, so they take him to that place, right? So there are many other. There's another one. I'll just. Okay, so I had to find out. Another was daughter. Savantamali had a young, nice daughter, and being brought up in that farm, right? So where groceries were there every year, the road from there is to go to the Pandharpur. It was not far away, but it was not very close also. So devotees used to walk from that place, Ashadi Ekadashi, and again in November month, they used to walk from that place. So that young daughter, typical soft, kind-hearted. So she picks up something groceries like tomatoes and few stuff there, puts into a bag, and he says, one of this devotee, you take that. And nobody was willing to carry, and sometime she was insulted, and again, not a real devotee, some brahmanas and kind of things. I really, let's not go into that, but she was insulted. And again, she starts crying, stops eating, all those things happen. So again, this is the Leela, and the Lord shows up there. So again, that is also there. So couple of quick slokas he had written, 37 Abhangas, and remember, he did not go to Pandharpur. He is the person, he eats a onion and onion. So be there. I have seen in Varkari Sampradaya, there are some people, they don't take a tea and take a tea or onion. I have seen those also. But there are people like our concept of onion goes only with the meat. That is not there. They are purely vegetarian. The farmer community, this is their food. Take a jwari roti and this onion and some, some food. It's not opulent available. So the farmers, so they are also devotees. So this is what is here. So he talks about Amici, Malianchi Zat. We are from the Malia, that gardeners family, Set Lau Bagaiti. So they grow the crops. Kanda, Muli, Bhaji, Aurgi. So Kanda, onion, Mula, Bhaji, Vithai Maji. So they were looking everywhere the Lord is there. It's because of him. It is not the Lord is the Mula or Lord is the onion. No, everything is coming because of nothing exists without Lord. And my service, chant his name, behave properly, do your nice karmas, and Lord will be pleased, right? So he was helping all those devotees who were going there, or they taking a rest, and that was his mood there. Lasun mirchi kothimiri avga zala maza hari. So again, onion garlic is here, and chili is there, so that is what is there. So okay, now, because he was not into that jnana and other things, so he talks of swakarmat bhave rata moksha mile hato hat. Swakarmat, do your duty properly. भावे रथ विथ इंटरेस्ट. सावंत्याने केला मला विठ्ठल देखिया डोळा. So he grew that farm thinking this is the Lord's instruction to me and feed the people, right? That was here. It's not make money or something. It's a work given to me and always chanting his name. Another योग याक तप धर्म सोपे वर्म नाम घेता. He said yog, Ashtanga yoga, yag, tap, austerity, following a religious, dharma, religious dharma, artha, kam, moksha, those we call dharma, all those things, not easy. He said that taking name is much easy. Tirtha vrata dana ashtanga, yacha pang amma nako. He says, I don't want to follow that path. First of all, not easy, and I don't want to follow that path. One more, prapanchi asune parmat sadhava, remain in a family life and get the parmat, love of Lord. Vache atvava pato pandurang, by tongue chant his name. Uch neech kahi na pahe sarvatha. Don't look somebody is lower and upper, higher. No. Puranicha katha Puranis. He's talking about there are a lot of, because he was not educated, right? Some of the stories we cannot understand, why Lord is behaving in that, all those things. So people get confused with that, and this doubts and all that. He says leave those things, because I don't understand. That doesn't mean they are wrong. I think we have to understand with the right perspective here. घटका आणि परत साधी उतवेळा वावगा तो काळ जाऊ नेदी. डोंट वेस्ट युअर टाइम इन अनालायझिंग. इफ यू आर नॉट इंटेलिजंट दॅट्स ओके. सावंत म्हणे कांती जपे नाम म्हणते हृदय कमळी मांडुंगा. सो देअर्स वन मोर preaching. Okay, one more I just want to show. That's one thing. When his नाम एक very quickly. Okay, so this must be interesting. When his brother-in-law comes to her house, same way her wife's brother comes to meet him, and he apparently seems to be did not care him. This happens in many of our life, right? So I'm not saying a lot of Matajis are here, so I don't want to say anything. So how he sees that, and Saunta's wife was very angry that my brother came and you didn't spare time with him, and you was busy with everything. Look at he's there. So this is the last. Sorry, I took some 10 more minutes. So prapancha asune parmatma sadava. Prapancha asune parmatma sadava. Remaining the family, but also don't get only lost with that. Focus also on Paramatma. Vache atvava paturang. So doing our daily activities, always remember Vithala, Pandurang. Uch needs kahi na pahe sarvata. Don't think, this is what I think I have again repeated here, right? So don't think what is the one low and higher. Puranache katha Purane. Ghatka ani parisati utavena. Vauga to kal jau nedi. So don't waste your time. So somehow indirectly he's saying that, maybe he didn't say any purpose gossiping with them. So Savanta Mane Kanti, that he's talking about his wife, Jape Namavali. He's telling that instead of that, remember his name, Radhe Kamali Panduranga. So, in her heart is the Vithala. So he's telling that even though she was not happy, say that, this is there, you have to remain there, but don't get distracted too much. Focus on that. So I'll stop here on that. Hare Krishna. So this ends like a last 4 days, like yesterday, today, and the previous week, and maybe whenever next time we have opportunity, we'll continue. Thank you, everyone, and this is what I had to say. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very interesting.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा
प्रभु
मधुर।
जी बहुत अच्छा क्लास था, बहुत अच्छा सा। प्रभु जी मुझे एक मतलब पॉइंट आया है कि ये जो सारे डिवोटी है वो उनकी सोच कितनी अच्छी है। तो वो जो पुजारी जो लोग इतने भगवान की सेवा करते हैं और हर रोज भगवान के साथ ही रहते हैं, तो उनके विचार में क्यों शुद्धि नहीं आती है? वो ऐसा क्यों करते हैं कि आप नहीं अलाउड करते हैं, सबको अलाउड नहीं करते हैं ये, तो उनको उनका दिल मेल्ट क्यों नहीं होता है?
So
पुजारी वगैरह जो
yeah, so I'll leave Sharad Prabhu to answer. It's a standard question. But my reaction when I went my parents, I was worried because lot of crowd there. So I little vaguely remember. Then I went with the school. I happy with my friends there. I went other time. I saw that as I was grown up, I was seeing that Pujari is there ill treating, and my belief was that how can God exist there? So that was me, those days because I did not see that. Right, Sharad Prabhu can explain that part. But one of the thing you have to remember, this repeated Vithala and the Choka Mela repeated many times. So Lord was performing some Leela through them. That's the one part you have to understand. Other part is that those people who are the devotees, you should not look into that. When go to the Vrindavan, even the monkeys, you are not supposed to disturb them. How to look at that Vrindavan. There are Nadarnath Maharaj, if you see 5, 6, 7 years back when he visited, there are series of lectures online how to visit and see the dham. I was not seeing the dham at that time. I was seeing the person with yesterday I mentioned, right, one is with Jnana Chakshu. I was not looking with them Jnana Chakshu. I was looking with mundane eyes at that time. So that is how I could see, and Sharad Prabhuji can give a really good answer to that. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. What Raksha Mataji is asking, Pundarik or Pundalik, it is the same thing. He was such a great devotee, and why he disrespected his parents, and then he come into line. You see, these are the Lord's the Leelas. He wanted it to happen that way, because otherwise the Lord himself would not have come to him. One has to be of that caliber, of that purity, then only he will come. But they are all teachings for all the worldly people, and especially in Kali Yuga, one gets distracted. Then the other point is in many of these teachings of these Varkari saints, you'll find the word Paramatma. Please don't think that they are impersonal. They mean Bhagavan only, because we know the distinction between Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahman. We should not think that it is their teachings are impersonal. It is no way. These are personal only, and they mean the same thing. They are just using the language which is understood by the majority of the people. That's why you will see the sages, what they have taught in a particular time, they are little different in other times. It is because the society is taken into account, the people are taken into account, the things prevailing at that point of time, they are taken into account. Like say about 500 years, what our six Goswamis taught, they are a little different. And what now Srila Prabhupada taught, they are little different. Like during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, it was mandatory to chant 64 rounds. He said that if you do not chant 64 rounds, I will not go to your home. So that was the basic thing. But now what has happened? Prabhupada came and he made it to 16 rounds. Why? Because the world wanted that. The activities in this material world at this point of time, they are very, very difficult, and you are always short of time. That's why the one may not be able to do 64 rounds unless one is retired from all services and he is devoting time only for devotional service, because you have to do so many other things. Like this, the things are different for different times, and we have to see the correct perspective. That is very sure. And another thing we heard, the parents of Pundalika, they wanted to go to Kashi. Now, Kashi, as you know, what is spoken by the Prabhuji also, that is the place of liberation. Anybody who dies there, he goes, he is liberated. But actually, what happens when anybody dies in Kashi, Lord Shiva comes himself, and in the ears of that dead person, he takes the name of Lord Rama. As you know, Lord Rama or Krishna, he is the main person whom Lord Shiva is always worshipping. He takes the name of Lord Rama, and that's why he gets liberated. That means it proves what is given in the Bhagavad Gita. What you have done at the end, what action you have taken at the end, in what consciousness you were at the end of life, you attain that consciousness in your next life. We should always try to remember the Lord, so that going, walking, sleeping, any time and every time we are able to remember the Lord, and that is the basic thing. Then I have no more comments, but I have got one point. I have to give a feedback to Charu Prabhuji regarding the timings of the class. Actually, these classes at this point of time earlier used to be at 5:30 Indian time, but we consulted each other and we agreed to conduct at 6 o'clock. Now regarding from next weekend, your question is at what time these classes will be conducted. Now Charu Prabhuji wants to give him a feedback that what is the consensus amongst the devotees, because he himself he realizes that 5:30 is little early in India. And if you want 5:30, that can be there, or 6 o'clock is all right, 6:30 is all right. But like some of the devotees have already reacted, beyond 6:30 or even 6:30, that may be a little problem, because Matajis, they get involved in the household affairs at that point of time. So I want to know what you are recommending. 5:30, 6 o'clock or 6:30? I'll go one by one. Nitya Sakhi Mataji. Sapta Mataji. Raksha Mataji. Anybody?
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी आई एम फाइन विथ 5:30 और 6, वो दोनों चलेगा मुझे, 6:30 भी चलेगा प्रभु जी.
Yeah, with me
मगर
also, Prabhu. 5:30 or 6 will be okay.
Okay, 5:30 or 6. Okay. Anybody else? Sanjit Prabhuji or Prasad Prabhu? Yes.
Prabhuji, 6 o'clock will be better.
Okay, 6 o'clock.
Prabhuji, 6 o'clock will be better.
Okay, 6 o'clock is better, as we are doing now. Sanjit Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. I already mentioned in the chat. I
Okay,
think,
okay.
because we have been doing it for 5:30, and that's the
Yeah, for Archana Mataji, there is no problem, because that is
in my view. Let's go by 5:30.
not early morning. And what about Lalit Priya Mataji and others who are in the west?
6 o'clock will be better, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
For me, personally speaking, 9 to 11 will be very late, as Charu Prabhuji had mentioned.
Yes.
8 to 10, the same time would be better. 8 to 10 here, which will be, I think, 6 o'clock in India.
Okay, you are also saying 6 o'clock for us, 6 o'clock in India, and whatever the equivalent time in the West.
Equivalent time, yeah.
Okay. Okay, then the consensus is 6 o'clock as we are following. I'll convey this to Charu Prabhuji and we'll see what he gives. And that means from next weekend onwards, 6 o'clock, both the days, day one Charu Prabhuji, and in the beginning, day two, Archana Mataji, she will be finishing her summary of the Srimad Bhagavatam various cantos, and then thereafter we will see about Bhakta Maal or the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, which I had started. Let us see, but you must be finding the Bhaktamal classes, the life history of the devotees, they are very, very interesting. And please remember that whenever we are talking of any devotee, the Lord in some form is listening to them because He is most happy, He is most satisfied when we glorify His dear devotees. Because when He comes to this material world, He also glorifies the devotees. That's why in Bhagavad Gita He has said, if a devotee makes a promise, he upholds it. Because if he himself makes a promise, he may break it. But if his devotee makes a promise for anything, he upholds it, he supports it, and he puts all his strength in it. That's why the devotees are more important, even instead of the Lord. So that's what I had to say. Any other point any devotee has got?
Hare Krishna, Radha Vinod Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much. Sorry I missed the class yesterday, but I'll go through the YouTube again to see. I must have missed major main devotees of the Maharashtra Varkari Sampradaya yesterday. But I loved Pundalik Ji's story and, I can't even pronounce a lot of devotees' names, but thank you so much. It was wonderful. You went into details of each and every devotee's life history, and it was amazing to hear that. I used to read a lot of stories about devotees of Varkari Sampradaya before, like Vittalji's Bhakta. So yeah, the only one thing I just wanted to share is like only like we have to find a way to preserve all these as the water bodies that are affiliated to all these temples, the holy waters like the Chandrabhaga River, the Ganges and Yamuna, they're so contaminated. Sometimes it feels very awful for me, like, to even see there's so much materially, there is so much dirt, but the spiritual potency is never lost because they are coming from the spiritual world. I just wanted to share this point. I was a little disappointed when I went to Pandharpur. I couldn't have the Lord's darshan. It was one Ekadashi, so it was miles away from the temple. We were standing in line, and then we ended up finally desperately going to one temple, which is Takpit Vittal, which is just few yards away from the main temple. And there was no crowd, and we had a lot of darshan, and we got the Thank you so much.
Yeah, next time, Mother, if you find that there are two lines, one line is a miles away, another place you see the Lord from 30, 40 feet, but that is a very short line. Maybe every time I go, I just avoided the long line. With that, you go very close to the Lord. Other is 30, 40 feet, the same hall, but from distance, there is a big place where you can watch, see that. And that is running very fast out there. Yeah, it's true. And there is a Srila Prabhupada Ghat there, that ISKCON is developing so nicely. It's also a holy place where Lord Chaitanya lived there, stayed there for 3 days and performed so wonderful pastime. It is also said that whatever is there, Vrindavan, like Kalia and all those, everything has happened there. In that, this is believed, and there's a Govardhan, and that's what I next time when I'll do, I'll dham. I'll prepare everything. So maybe 1 or 2 days and we'll present. So everything is existing there. So those people, great devotees of Pandharpur, those are not able to go to the Vrindavan. They see everything. That and there is a another ISKCON is trying to preserve all this scripture in the ISKCON Bombay. In a consultation with Bombay University and I believe another one university, they are trying to preserve all the literature that is written by them. Maybe we may not understand importance. The future generation will understand. ISKCON is doing a lot of great work on that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I
Yeah.
visited ISKCON Pandharpur too. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, they are developing. Yes, I had been there also. So, thank you, Madan.
We thank Radha Vinod Prabhuji for bringing out the life histories of all these worker saints. But please remember that what is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that there are 4 Vaishnava sects. But this worker, this sampradaya, you will not find them in anywhere. But still, they are the greatest devotees. Like we are yet to hear about Tukaram Maharaj. In this material body only, he went to the spiritual world. So we should not have any doubts about these great devotees of this sampradaya, and we should try to follow. And what is their teachings? Basically, what they are teaching, they are saying bhakti is the only way,
Only way.
not jnana or any other path. That is the basic, and that agrees with what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what our Goswami said, and what everybody said. So these are the things we should not go into some detail and try to make some other meaning. That is the thing we should learn from here. So thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
And once we get another opening, then we'll give you some more time to cover the devotees who have not been covered in our this series of 4 days. Thank you, Prabhuji, very much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Then we can conclude today's class with the Nrsimha prayers.
Prabhuji, one question, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Prabhu. Prabhuji, is Charu Prabhu session is there both the days, Prabhu? Saturday, Sunday, both?
No, Charu Prabhuji will be taking on one day. Now, from June onwards, he will be taking both the days.
Oh, okay. Now only one day. That is Saturday or Sunday?
Next weekend, day 1, Charu Prabhuji. Day 2, Archana Mataji. She will be completing her Srimad Bhagavatam canto, the summaries.
Oh, okay, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Bhagavad Gita recitation is continued?
Yes, it will continue. I'll inform Charu Prabhuji to continue.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Understood. One day. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Very wonderful class, Prabhu.
You can chant from Srimad Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, any few verses, that is perfectly all right.
Okay, sure.
Prabhuji, may I do
Radha
the
Vinod
next?
Prabhu. Yeah, very wonderful class, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. It's really very, very wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So many devotees in this Bharata Bhumi. Okay, especially
Yeah.
Maharashtra. Nice place. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
No, one place
I
it's a
always
mention.
know that yes.
Yeah, one place is a mention that ancient time, the Bhakti Devi started in Tamil Nadu through Karnataka, came to Maharashtra. She avoided Gujarat and went to north, but and then Gujarat eventually, there are Narsimha Mehta and so many devotees came up, right? As we see. Yeah, there's a big tradition, and it's 800 years back. Think of much before Lord Chaitanya came, 1200. My period I'm setting is 1250 to 1350, and then like that, as we go 100, next you'll see many other devotees. Yeah, thank you.
Prabhuji,
Thank
please
you.
share the abhangas. No,
I'm
they
going
were
to,
very
yeah, I'm
beautiful.
going to share. I'm going to share them.
So we can also
I'll just
recite.
update this document. I'll give a link wherever possible. You can click and go and see, those abhangas. I'll do that also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, may I do the Narsimha prayers?
Yeah, I think, okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladaladaine. Praladaladaine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshah. हिरण्यकाशि पूर्वक्षः शीलटङ्कानखालाय शीलटङ्कानखालाय इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा पाहि नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा पाहि नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव कर कमलवरे नखम् अद्भुतशृङ्गं दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गं केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमलवरे नखम् अद्भुतशृङ्गं दलित हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गं केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल